I'm on Klopfanstein in Newport, New York, where Crow's Nest Pictures is holding their first ever short film showcase and presenting their film, The Haunting of Hannamacher Hall. Carley Hinman is one of the performers in The Haunting of Hannamacher Hall. So, Carley, who do you play in the film?
My character is Dee Dee Jones. She's sort of like the leader of the YouTube group. She's a very, energetic, rambunctious person. She definitely commands a space.
Was it a fun character to play?
Very fun. I mean, I don't really yell or snap at people very often, so when you get to do that...
So you get to do it on screen.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So what has the audience response been to the film?
It's been overwhelmingly pleasant, positive. I've been really happy and proud to show the film to people just because there's so many universal laughs that people get. I feel like people always laugh at the close-ups on the faces and the reactions.
What inspired your character?
In the real world, Jake Paul was kind of what I based my performance off of, with the big, rambunctious, hey, you got,
top, right?
very over the top.
Yeah,
so I kind of tried to take the approach of, I think it's called a clout tuber, very over the top.
I'm with Siulee Olivera. She's one of the co-directors and co-writers of the Haunting of Hannamacher Hall. And Siulee, this is a special place to actually show the film because this is where you taped it.
Yes, it is. This is an amazing space. Honestly, it was a rare find, and it's just really fun to be able to bring this kind of event to Newport. That's such a small town, but like a thriving community.
Yeah.
So to actually show it not only in the town that we filmed it, but on set is crazy for us.
And I heard that there's a rumor that actually is haunted here.
Yes, our movie plays with that.
Any spooky stories?
Let me think. Well, upstairs there's a huge atrium that is really spooky, and as we were looking through, the different rooms, there's, it's dark. Especially, we were filming in the middle of the night.
Oh wow!
So very dark, very cold. You hear creaking.
Yeah.
What would you call this chamber? It's like a kind of
this would be like the Masonic temple.
Yeah,
So this is like where we do that.
It's where they do their meetings and stuff.
Yep.
And we were a little nervous, we weren't sure if we were going to be allowed to use this room because you think it might be kind of sacred, but we asked and they said, yeah. And then I said, well, somebody gets possessed. And they were like, oh, all right, we'll do it. They had one stipulation, just film on this side of the room. So if you saw, we cheated a little bit where we set the characters. You didn't notice, hopefully, but they were in different spots all around. So we didn't get this side of the room.
I was thinking that you never saw this at all, this whole side here.
But we were able to kind of, that's movie magic. You can, with camera angles and tricks like that, you can.
It also looks a lot bigger on film.
Yes.
Which is kind of interesting, that the difference and how it actually looks on in real life.
So, well, interestingly is the way we lit it is we had a big beam right here and a big big light that was in a big China ball. You guys know what those are?
Yep.
And it was casting down. And we got it in the camera because there was no way to avoid it. It was so big. But in post-production afterwards, we painted it out.
Oh,
so
really?
we removed the light in post, and so it didn't look like it was here. So there was just a light on us, but you didn't actually see the light. So that was Jonas América who did that. It was very talented,
did you tape in the middle of the night?
Yes. So we got here around 6 and we stayed till around 12. So we had about 6 hours of shooting. We would have liked more, but there's never enough time.
Any spooky experiences during the shoot?
No, there is a ghost story here that I was told.
So we had a guy who sat there for many years, Jay Sickler. It's called a Tyler. His job is to make sure that nobody goes in except the members who are entitled to go in. I used to always work in Syracuse, and I would get here late for the meeting, and I'd enter the building. And I'd greet Jay, and he'd greet me at an appropriate time. He'd let me in. Well, eventually Jay died, and we had a Masonic service for him up the street at Ottenritz. And as my wife and I came walking back down the street, she peeled off and went into the house, and I came here, and the building was all dark and locked up and so on. And I took my key and I unlocked the door and I opened the door, and somebody said hello, and I just responded hello, and I'm like, wait a minute, the building is dark and I just unlocked it. Who's putting me on, right? I look around inside, I jump back out, I look around, I see nothing. I call her on the cell phone. I'm like, get over here. I said, I want you to stand here on the porch and watch and see who's messing with me, and I'm going to go back in. I went back in, did my thing with the boilers, searched the whole building. As I'm headed back down those stairs, I get to the landing, and all of a sudden I hear a big crash, like a whole box full of stuff is falling off the table or whatever. I go looking around the building, I find nothing. Okay, I come back out on the porch. I'm like, who's messing with me? She says, I've seen nothing. For the next several weeks, just about every night, I'd come over here and I'd mess with the boilers, And as I would go down those stairs, I'd get to the landing and I would hear this big crash, and I never ever found anything. So finally one night I came up in here and I came up and I did my thing with the thermostats and the boilers and so on. And when I got to here where Jay used to sit, I said, look, Jay, if this is you, we appreciate you watching the door for all those years, and we appreciate you apparently hanging around to keep an eye on the place since then. But we've got it now. You can go on to whatever's next. And stop.
My name is Todd Barrett. I'm the dean for the School of Art at MVCC.
Dean for School of Art at
Yep.
MVCC.
Yep.
And MVCC was involved, and like.
Yeah, I mean, everybody who was involved was either alumni or former students. You know, from the production crew, the directors, actors. I mean, yeah, and a lot of support came from the School of Art at MVCC. You know, including like equipment usage, those types of things.
So, does MVCC have a film program?
We have a video production degree that really is kind of geared towards like narrative storytelling and digital filmmaking as well. So.
It's not a comedy club. She's the possession. The demon. What? That's what you always say.
There's a perfect amount of comedy in it, as well as, you know, it kept us on the edge of our seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that it was local.
So, how do you feel about the audience response tonight? The turnout.
I think it went great. I think everyone loved it, so I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
So, you're looking forward to your next film?
Yeah, definitely.
Great.
Definitely to the finishing bumps in the road, premiering, and then more films to come from that.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
The films shown here tonight represented a variety of genres and styles, but all were greatly enjoyed by the audience. Crow's Nest Pictures is already hard at work on their next film, which they hope to release in 2026. For 95.5 FM The Heat, I'm Ron Klopfanstein at the Newport Short Films Showcase. This is Ron Klopfanstein. Meet me in the hot seat every Monday at 5 p.m. for Hot Seat Media Mondays, 95.5 FM The Heat.